Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Synchron, please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, we read from Bhagavad-Gita, 9th chapter, text 23. Ye pyanya devata bhakta yachante shadayan vitaha tepi mam eva kaunteya yachyanta viti purvakam. Ye, those who, api, also, anya, of other, devata, gods or demigods, bhakta, devotees, yachyante, worship, shradhaya, anvitaha, with faith, they, api, also, mam, me, eva, only, kaunteya, O son of Kunti, yachanti, they worship, aviti purvakam, in a wrong way. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Purport. Persons who are engaged in the worship of demigods are not very intelligent. Although such worship is offered to me indirectly, Krishna says, for example, when a man pours water on the leaves and branches of a tree without pouring water on the root, he does so without sufficient knowledge or without observing regulative principles or the rules how to do it proper. Similarly, the process of rendering service to different parts of the body is to supply food to the stomach. The demigods are, so to speak, different officers and directors in the government of the Supreme Lord. One has to follow the laws made by the government, not by the officers or directors. Similarly, everyone is to offer his worship to the Supreme Lord only. That will automatically satisfy the different officers and directors of the Lord. The officers and directors are engaged as representatives of the government, and to offer some bribe to the officers and directors is illegal. This is stated here as avidi purvakam. In other words, Krishna does not approve the unnecessary worship of the demigods. Ye piyanya devata bhakta yachante shadayan vitaha te pimam eva kaunteya yachantya vidi purvakam. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Om Agyatimarañyasya Agananjana Salakyam Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So it's in previous verse, yesterday's verse, Krishna was explaining how one can actually attain him and please him. Ananyas chintayantamam ye chana paryupasate tesham nitya viyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, Ananya Bhakti, meditating on my transcendental form. To them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. And then in today's verse, those were devotees of other gods, like the demigods, who are the part and parcels of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and who worship them with faith, actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. So the demigods question may arise. Demigods are also devotees of Krishna, of the Supreme Lord. So if we worship the demigods, what is wrong with that? So in one sense, there's nothing wrong to worship or to respect the representative of the Supreme Lord. Like we worship the spiritual master, the Guru. We worship the Brahmanas who are representing the Lord. We are respecting the cows and even worship them on particular days or on particular events. We can also worship Bhumi, the goddess of earth. There are many who worship the sun because to get good health from sunlight and harvest. Some they worship the moon because the moon, Chandra, is in charge for the vegetation, for the growing of grains and the juice in the fruits and the sweet. Hey, who is that? Airplane models. So there are so many different kinds of worshippers. So it's natural to show thankfulness. Also in our European countries, in the autumn, at least in the past, the farmers, they had a festival, to Thanksgiving for a good harvest. In German, Erntedankfest. Erntedankfest. One thanks the God or the nature or for the nice harvest this time. To show thankfulness. So it's naturally that somebody who receives many nice things from the material nature, he will not take it for granted and think, okay, let me just enjoy more and more and more, and don't show any thankfulness, or not asking any question from where actually all this supply is coming from, because everything must come from something, as we told last lecture, last Monday. From nothing comes nothing. From nothing comes nothing. Even also our harvest, our supply of water, air, light, our senses, the eyesight, hearing the sound, perceiving sense objects. In general, it's all dependent on certain devatas. Devata means gods, demigods, deities who are in charge in the universe. Therefore, in Vedic literature, it is explained to worship particular demigods and show thankfulness to them for their supply for us, that we can enjoy, that we can have happy life, peaceful life, healthy life. So we show thankfulness to them. So therefore there's a certain kind of puja or worship for different kinds of demigods described in the Bhagavatam. For example, Shukadev Goswami, in the beginning of the second canto, third chapter, Shukadev Goswami's instructions are given. Of course, I'm in airplane modus, therefore I'm also not connected now. But it will come maybe. Yes, so here we are. So he says which kind of gods are recommended to worship for particular results. In the third chapter, I told. One moment, yes, worship of the demigods. Second canto, chapter 3. So Shukadev Goswami says, in human society, all over the world, there are millions and billions of men and women, and almost all of them are less intelligent because they have very little knowledge of the eternal spirit soul. Almost all of them have a wrong conception of life, but they identify themselves with the gross and subtle material bodies, which they are not in fact. They may be situated in different high and lower positions in the estimation of human society, but one should know definitely that unless one inquires about his own self, Atma, beyond the body and the mind, all his activities in human life are total failures. Therefore, out of thousands of men, one person may acquire about the spirit self, and thus consult the revealed scriptures like Vedanta Sutras, Bhagavad-Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. In spite of reading and hearing such scriptures, unless one is in touch with a realized spiritual master, he cannot actually realize the real nature of the self. And out of thousands of hundreds of thousands of men, someone may know what Lord Krishna is in fact. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that Lord Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, prepared the Vedic literatures in the incarnation of Vyasadeva for reading by the intelligence class of man in the human society, which is almost totally forgetful of the genuine relation with Krishna. Even such an intelligent class of men may be forgetful in their relation with the Lord. The whole bhakti-yoga process is therefore a revival of the lost relation. This revival is possible in the human form of life, which is obtained only out of the evolutionary cycle of 8,400,000 species of life. The intelligent class of human being must take a serious note of this opportunity. Not all human beings are intelligent, so the importance of human life is not always understood. Maharaj Parikshit was thoughtful and is therefore advised by his spiritual master to take the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and fully engage himself in devotional service, hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. of the holy name and pastimes of the Lord, which are all Hari Katamritam. This action is especially recommended when one is preparing for death. So we should not just die like animal, but die in consciousness. What an animal cannot do, in consciousness of awareness of the Supreme. Shukadev Goswami continued, that was purport by Prabhupada. Shukadev Goswami continued, Maharaj Parikshit, as you have inquired from me as to the duty of the intelligent man who is on the threshold of death, so I have answered you. Now here the activities for those who are not intelligent among men, the avidi purvakam, or those who are ignorant. Ninth verse of 3rd chapter, 2nd canto. Or this section can be said to be supplied as an explanation of who should be worshipped, by first showing the deities whom the foolish worship. This description continues until verse 9 of the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the second verse, actually we started the second. One who desires to be absorbed in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, that means in the impersonal effulgence of the Lord, the divine light, should worship the master of the Vedas, that means Brahma. One who desires powerful sex life should worship the heavenly king, Indra. And one who desires good progeny should worship the great progenitors called the Prajapatis. The person who desires knowledge desires the knowledge of Brahma should worship Brahma, the master of the Vedas. The person who desires strong senses should worship Indra. The person desiring progeny should worship the Prajapati, such as Daksha. One who desires good fortune should worship Durga Devi, the superintendent of the material world. One desiring to be very powerful should worship fire, or the fire god, Agni. And one who aspires only after money, that's the most simple thing, should worship the Vasus. And one who should worship the Rudra incarnation, and one who worships the Rudra incarnations of Lord Shiva if he wants to be a great hero. And from any of the great heroes, they worship Rudra, Shiva, to get benediction, that they become not killed by this and that weapon or this and that form in this and that way, and that they are able to kill their enemy. So they worship Rudra for that blessings. and that they become courageous enough and to not run from the battlefield. Then Shukadev Goswami continues in verse 4. One who desires a large stock of grains should worship Aditi, the mother of the demigods. One who desires to attain the heavenly planets should worship the sons of Aditi, the 12 Adityas, headed by Indra. Worship by Indra. One who desires a worldly kingdom should worship Vishwadev. And one who wants to be popular or famous with the general mass of people or in the world should worship the Satya demigods. The person who desires a long span of life, Ayurveda, Ayur means prolong, that means prolongation of life, should worship the Ashwini Kumaras, the physicians or doctors of the Devas. A person desiring a strongly built body should worship the earth goddess. And one who desires stability in his post or position, job, should worship the horizon. and the earth together. One who desires to be beautiful should worship the Gandharvas. One who desires to have a good wife should worship the Apsaras headed by Urvasi. And one who desires domination over others, that means control, they should worship Lord Brahma, the head of the universe. One who desires tangible fame should worship the personality of Godhead, or Indradev. And one who desires a good bank balance should worship the Varuna, should worship Varuna Dev, the god of the ocean. If one desires to be a greatly learned man, he should worship Lord Shiva. And if one desires a good marital relation, marriage, family life, he should worship the chaste goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva. And one should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotees for spiritual advancement in knowledge, like Dharmaraj, and for protection of heredity and advancement of a dynasty, one should worship the Pitris, the forefathers. The person desiring protection should worship the Yakshas, and the persons desiring strong senses should worship the Maruts, the winged gods. One who desires domination over a kingdom and wants to become a king should worship the Manus, or Manu. One who desires victory over an enemy should worship the demons, like the Rakshasas, Niriti. And one who desires sense gratification should worship the moon, Soma. But one who desires nothing of material enjoyment should only worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu or Krishna. And then Shukadeva Goswami quotes the famous verse, Akamo sarva kamo va, moksha kamo dharati, tivrena bhakti-yogena yachita purusham param. A person who has a broader intelligence, whether he be full of material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Then he quoted the verse, Jnanam yat aprinivirita gunormi chakram Atma prasada utayatra gunesha sangha Kaivalya samata patastata bhakti yoga Ko nivrito harikata suratim na kuryat. Transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord Hari is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and whirlpools of the material modes of nature, Tamaguna, Rajaguna, and Sattvaguna. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment, and being transcendental, it is approved by great authorities. Who could fail to be attracted to this process? So here, the highest authority of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Shukadeva Goswami, is pointing out ultimately to worship Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he is the reservoir and the ultimate benefactor of everyone, even the demigods. So the demigods who are all worshipped by different processes, they actually have the power from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's not their own power. Like Prabhupada is here giving the example of a minister of a government or any institution. They're representative of the government. So the law, they cannot make their own laws. The law is given, or law is made by the lawmakers, by the top government who are in charge for the government. They're making the laws, and they're passing these laws down to all the different bureaus and the different representative ministers and different officers of the different ministerial departments of the government, and so in this way it comes down to every town and village, and the representatives are all there. So if one goes and I would say needs something from them, so it's not they who are giving it. It is coming from the government ultimately. So it's not that they make the law. So in the similar way, it's not the demigods who are giving us things by their own power, because the ultimate power is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the Purnam. Is the universal form, and all the demigods are situated in the gigantic universal body of the Virat Rupa of Lord Krishna, and they cannot do anything by themselves. That's also described in the second and in the third canto. When the universal form manifested with all the different plant resistance, with all the different living entities situated in different species of life, everything was manifested, but nothing moved. Nothing moved. The demigods entered in all the different, in the fire element, in the air element, in the I would say water element, in the senses, in the activity senses, but nothing moved. Only when the Super Soul and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Virat Purusha, entered as the Super Soul in this universal body, then the gigantic body started to move. That means life comes from life. Life comes not from dead matter. But the scientists nowadays proclaim, the life is coming from spirit. And spirit means that what is life? It's sat. The material nature is asat. So therefore the Vedic aphorism is tamasima chotigama. Please come out, wake up from the darkness, from sleep, and come to the light, come to knowledge. Light means knowledge. Come to awareness. Especially as human being, we have to become aware who we are, as Prabhupada is pointing out in the purport. What the Atma is, what the real self is. Atma can mean mind, Atma can mean body. Atma can also mean, it ultimately means the soul proper, the eternal spirit soul. Because the mind and the body is temporary. The subtle and gross material elements, they're temporary. They have a beginning and an end, but the soul has no beginning and an end. Therefore, to realize the soul means that it's the purpose of human form of life. And only if we actually become realized or aware that we are spirit soul, we can ask questions about life after. And they can have a whole other perspective to the whole life, to see the whole life as not something just to enjoy for my own sense gratification or for my own exploitation, but actually to engage it in the service of the Lord and to see everything in relation to the Lord. Prabhupada is also giving the example from Srimad Bhagavatam, a verse quoted by Srila Narad Muni to the Prachetas. It is with the tree and the watering process of the roots. It's from the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. 31st chapter, text 14. Yatha taror mula nisechanena tripyanti tat skanda puchapasakha prano paharachcha yatendriyanam tathaiva sarvarhanam achyutecha. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and limbs of the body, simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service, bhakti-yoga, automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality. So the hands, similarly also the hands, they can give the food to the mouth, but the digestion takes place in the stomach, who distributes it all over the body. The hand cannot independently say, so now I enjoy it. So I go buy food on market now, vegetables and fruits, and then I start to eat here, enjoy. What will happen? The hand become weaker and weaker day by day. So we don't get energy. But if we are following the proper process of eating of the food, as the creation has mended, and the purpose of food eating is meant, nourishing. If we follow that process, then we become healthy. Like if you eat food in the wrong time. Many have habits to eat in the evening, in the night. Go pizzeria, MBT, or somewhere to get pizza. To eat food on the wrong time. Then we become sick. If we eat the food in the right time, then we become healthy. We become strong. In the evening we should not eat anymore. We cannot digest it properly, especially here in Vrindavan, in India. It's not very good, very wise. So that's not the problem in the eating process, but we have to consider the time, the place, and the circumstances. In the same way, we also have to always understand what is the process, how to eat, how to sleep, how to be active, when to recreate according to the time, place, and circumstances, and apply this in a regulated way. But human form of life, even the animals, they are regulated. So we have to learn how to be regulated in our eating, sleeping, mating, resting, acting. We always have tendency to overdo, fanatic, always do too much of everything. And then after that we become burned out and weakened, and then we go to the opposite, nothing at all, stop. This process is called bhoga tyaga. Let me first enjoy, and if I become fed up and I have to suffer because of this enjoyment, then okay, let me renounce. Not eating now. Fasting. 40 days fasting. And then we feel very good after that. But what you do after 40 days of fasting, we start to eat again too much and too much. And in this way we come to the yo-yo effect. Yo-yo effect means like a yo-yo, you know. So we do a lot of yoga after the enjoyment of the boga, to lose weight, to become healthy again. And as soon as I feel a little more energetic and healthy, I start to eat up, swallow everything, and then again I'm same or even more worse. And we are wondering how is it possible. Now I fasted so much. I had so many good doctors, Ayurvedic and all kinds of doctors, and they gave me so many nice advices, and I became really good now. But because of weakness of sadhana, weakness of following proper conduct and principle, we are neglecting, and then we ignoring that what we heard from doctors, from the scriptures, from our advisors, how to follow proper diet and sadhana, regulated lifestyle. And then we start to eat gradually more and more and more and more. And then even by little more, and even by thinking about it and by drinking water, you become more and more jogging. And then again you have to do tapasya, austerity, fasting, renunciation, bhoga-tyaga. This process is called bhoga-tyaga. And the whole material world is functioning on these bases of bhoga and tyaga. Let's enjoy, and if I get too much suffering, then do some tapasya, do some restraint, some therapy. But then because we didn't cured and treated the root cause of our problem, we do the same again and again, and again and again, we have the same problem. So, of course, we can say out of weakness, oh, this is karma, this is fate, this is my fate, mein Schicksal. This happened like that, it's written in the stars, or in my horoscope. Then when you even consult horoscope, there is written like this and that period, and this and that period is good, is not so good. But still, we cannot really follow, we are not able to follow the principles out of the weakness. And this weakness of root disease is called hridaya daurbalyam. It's a weakness of determination, of faith. We have to have faith. Faith in God, faith in the life process, faith in ourselves also. It's not that we have only faith in God, in myself, you know, I'm useless, I'm nonsense. I have no faith in myself. No, we are part and parcel of God. Therefore we have to have faith in us also. We have to respect us, because we are creation of God. We cannot destroy it. We cannot ignore it. We cannot put it down. We have to have an esteem, self-esteem, but a healthy self-esteem. Many have false self-esteem, becoming proud. As Prabhupada says, to become proud on yourself is not good. But to become proud on Krishna, become proud on in spiritual activities, you know, what kind of wonderful Lord we have, what kind of great acharyas we have, and wonderful process. If we become proud on that, this proud is healthy. So proud is not bad. Only the proud of myself, that I'm the doer, that I'm the enjoyer, I'm very great. This is the root cause of the material existence. Therefore we are here. Therefore we are here in this material world. Because we want to enjoy, we want to be Ishvara. We want to be in control. Maybe not supreme controller, maybe not. Maybe our karma, we say it's not. I'm not a king or a president. I'm not a big ruler, but we all want to rule something. Therefore, we have family control. You can control your family. You can control a company. You can control just something, you know, your children, your wife, and the husband, and the children. Everyone tries to control something. But we all fail to control ourselves, because that's the most difficult thing. That's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says. We always blame others. Because of others I'm suffering, because of others I'm in this position. But he says, no, look in yourself. See the fault in yourself. Be contemplative about yourself, about your own faults and mistakes, and try to, improve that. And then you will see, if you improve yourself, then the whole world will change around you. Everything will change around you. So to change the world without changing ourselves is not possible. Therefore, all the great heroes in this material world, all the great rulers and conquerors, they ultimately failed. All the great reformators also ultimately failed, because they had not they had not the time to control themselves, to save themselves. So first we have to save ourselves, then we can save others. And Srila Vyasadeva, who is the compiler of the Vedic literature, of the entire Vedic literature, he's the Veda Vyas. I spoke also last Sunday, I think, last Monday about it. He or several times I spoke about him. He was a very great avatar and very merciful. He wanted to help and to do something good for the people, but he was somehow or other not happy after he wrote so many books, so many literatures, where he emphasized demigod worship, like we spoke, the different representatives of the Lord, who are the part and parcels of the Lord, to how to worship them, how to please them. So this is by sacrifice, by yajna. That's a process is recommended in the Vedas, in Karma Kandya section of the Vedas. So the Lord is sending out all his generations of descendants, go out and make a lot of progeny, make a lot of children, and populate this universe, this world, and do yajna, and then the demigods will supply you with all the necessities what you need, and then in this way you will become peaceful and happy in life. But so there's three processes: karma kanda, jnana kanda, and upasana kanda. Karma kanda means fruitive activities by worshipping demigods. It's selfish, only for my own sense gratification. The other process is jnana kanda, to study Vedic literatures, to get a lot of knowledge, so that I can control, that I can become a great personality and famous, and can influence society. And the third one, upasana kanda, means to worship the different worship Vishnu, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is in everyone's heart and who is represented through all the demigods. And so by upasana kanda, one worships, the worshipper also worships demigods or many demigods, but not as independent, as representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is the proper rule. And this is what Krishna says. The demigod worshippers, they're following the avidi purvakam, following improper rules. They're avoiding the proper rules because they're in ignorance about the proper rules of the right time, the right place, the right circumstances, and the right goal. Because the deity the Purusha of the Yagya Purusha is Vishnu Yagya. So if he is pleased, then automatically all his part and parcels is pleased. Like if the stomach is pleased, then the whole body is okay. If the plant is watered on the root, the energy is supplied, and nourishment is supplied all over the plant. So in this similar way, if we can please Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Lord Krishna, who is the cause of Lord Vishnu, then everyone become pleased, everyone become happy and satisfied. But we have to do it in the proper way. So therefore the demigod worshippers who worship demigods independently of the Lord for their material benefit, they're less intelligent. And even Srila Vyasadeva, he was not happy. And then when his guru appeared, Narada, he chastised him. Oh, you wanted to do something good to the people, but you encourage them. The people already have tendency for sense gratification, so you encourage them to engage in sense gratification according by the guidelines of the Vedas. And this is not very. You actually did not a good job in this way, because in this way you help them more and more to become entangled in the cycle of birth and death in this material creation. So they will never come out of it. And therefore you're not satisfied, my dear sage. You will be satisfied if you glorify Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in your literatures, and that he is the ultimate goal. And only if we can please him, if we can satisfy him, if we serve him, then all our purpose, or the purpose of the Vedic literature, is fulfilled. So the goal of the Vedic literatures is to ultimately worship Krishna, Veda, Narayana, Sakshat, because Veda is generated by Narayana, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The goal of the Vedas is to know him, to please him. The sacrifices are meant to satisfy him. Yoga is meant to attain him, to connect with him. Fruitive activities, or fulfillment of one's dharma, is to satisfy him by performing our duties. So in this way, the scriptures explain that the main thing, there's nothing wrong in this material world, because everything is God-given. You only have to learn how to see it in relation with him. As soon as we see everything in relation with the sun or in the sunlight, everything becomes clear. If everything is in darkness, then we are like blind men, and we try to enjoy something and try to apply it in our life, but it will be chaotic. It will be so much problem then. So therefore we have to learn from the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-Gita how to come to this knowledge process in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage in his service only, because if we are serving him, all other part and parcels are also satisfied and pleased. That doesn't mean that we have to ignore the demigods or another great personalities in this universe or in this world. So we offer them our respect. We are ultimately servant. As Vaishnava, one is servant of everyone, because one sees Krishna as in everyone's heart. So we are the servant of the servant of the servant. And we see in everything the good in relation to the Supreme Lord, because God means all good. So if we are always in God consciousness, you are always in goodness consciousness, in proper consciousness, and then we will become peaceful, we become happy, and we also become healthy, and we have the blessings from Supreme Lord and also from the demigods, from the sages. As Bhagavatam says, Devashi Pitrinam Pitrina Devarshi Putapta Rinam Pitrinam Nakinkaranayam Rini Characham Sarvatmanayam Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukunda Paririta Kartam. That's from 11th Canto, 5th chapter, text 41. So we are all indebted to the forefathers, to the sages, to the demigods, to the society, to the animals, to the human beings, contemporaries, also to the government. Therefore, there are different kinds of duties prescribed in the Vedic literatures. But Bhagavatam says if we are pleasing Krishna and worship him, then we don't have to please separately all the different departments, like the forefathers and the sages and the demigods and the society. Everyone will be included in that process. And even if you are engaging in the service of other people and in the service of demigods and in service of the society, we should not do it blindly or ignorantly. We do it as a service of devotional service to please Krishna with it. So devotee sees everything in relation to Krishna. That is a training what we have to learn, how to see everything in relation to him. In this way, no activity becomes dirty or ignorant. Ignorance is if we are performing any activity not in awareness of the Supreme Lord. And that is the worst rule or deviation. The worst of the rules where we deviated. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu. First rule is to remember Krishna. Second rule is to never forget him. All other rules and regulations, they follow these two rules. These two rules are support. Many, they follow many rules and regulations, or many they ignore it because they become frustrated because of following so many rules and regulations. Why? Because they forgot and missed the main point, that whatever activities we perform, we should do it, and we should do it out of love and surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for Krishna, that we do it for him, not for us, not for others. Because if the Lord is in everyone's heart, so if we do so many activities, but we do it in Krishna consciousness, then ultimately everyone will become happy. So, Hare Krishna. Any question? Kishori? Okay. Yep.
What is your viewpoint of these laws of Radha and Krishna, and so on, that the devotees give to
Others?
the children? The dolls depicting Radha and Krishna, for instance, in Shimada, that they give to children. Now it's becoming more and more popular.
You mean puppets?
No, small dolls, like soft.
Yeah, no problem.
Dolls.
Yeah, I understand. No, Prabhupada told the next after book distribution is we should distribute deities. Even to the non-devotees, even to the people, we should distribute deities, because if they have deities in home, they will keep it in their shelves and at home in a nice place, and somehow they become Krishna conscious. Because the form, even if they play with the deity, there's so many children who played with deities. They're not installed, They're just shadow deities. but it gives them already, the child itself take it very seriously, maybe more serious than we. Therefore we cannot decide for the child how the child will see and perceive Krishna. Maybe he has a better perception of and love and affection to Krishna and to Radharani than we have. Because a child is innocent and it is very likes to love somebody. So why not Radha Krishna? Why not Krishna? But Jiva Goswami, of course, is another person, other level. Son of a nephew of Sanatana and Rupa Goswami, he worshipped Krishna Balaram, and he played with them. Uddhava, he was playing with Krishna dolls. And Prabhupada, there's purpose where Prabhupada says it's natural that the child wants to play with dolls. Dolls and toys. So if nowadays so many nonsense, I would say, dolls and toys, who completely, manipulate and pollute the consciousness of the children. Actually, we can say demoniac, you know. But if you give them something, you know, Krishna, you know, so it helps them to become Krishna conscious. They play with Krishna. So it's nothing wrong with it. You also distribute books, you know. Books are also deities. So why you distribute books to all the people? Huh? Why? We know many they will not read it. They will not understand. But we know that time bombs, and Krishna is there, is in everyone's heart. So he will make arrangement that the people or somebody else will get a feeling to that book, or will get feeling also to a certain deity of Krishna. So it's never lost. Only a story how one deity came to me. Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna came to me. Actually, it was one disciple. She was in Jagannathpuri. Mahamantra. Maybe some of you know her from Kazakhstan. And she met there a Muslim family. Muslim family in Jagannathpuri. And they somehow or other liked her, and they invited her to their home. They say, "Oh, we also have Krishna in our home." And then they showed her this Krishna, this size of Krishna deity, Radha and Krishna, very beautiful. And she wondered, "Oh, how you got these deities? Your Muslim family?" Then this Muslim man, he told, "Yeah, we were previously living in East Pakistan, in Bangladesh. And because in Bangladesh also many Hindus live, but then there was war. I don't know, I think beginning of 60s. There was a Bangladesh war in the 60s. Huh? In the 70s. Yeah, in the 70s. It was Bangladesh war. And many Hindus had to leave their houses and come to India. And they only could take whatever they could take, easy, most important for their life. But then then these houses were given to Muslims, and this Muslim family who was living in Jagannathpuri lived in got this house in Bangladesh of a Hindu family who worshipped Radha Krishna, who didn't took Radha Krishna with them. And their children were playing with Radha Krishna, like toys. Then they moved to Jagannathpuri, and meet the Vaishnavi devotee, and they told, our children are grown up now. We don't have need now to worship because we have Muslim tradition, but because you are Vaishnavi, we like to give these deities to you. So in this way the deities came there, and then she asked me if I like to take, because she already had Radha Krishna. So I call them Radha Gopinath, because all deities in Jagannath-puri are Gopinath. Even Jagannath is Gopinath. So it's Radha Gopinath. There's so many stories how Krishna, actually Mata Mohan, that's also an interesting story. Mata Mohan, our first temple opened here in Vrindavan 500 years ago by Sanatana Goswami. This deity was actually originally installed by the grand-grandson of Lord Krishna here in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago. But then this deity got lost due to the shift of the Yamuna river. So, like in Navadvip, also many deities and many temples that got lost. Many of the holy places got lost because of the shifting of the river Yamuna. And Ganga also moving, because everything is flat, sandy. So if everyone knows, my land is not my land, it's Yamuna or Ganga land, because any time Ganga can come and take away my land, and then it's not my land anymore. And then they have to move away from that place and find another place where they can build their house. Mostly clay houses. And then the Ganga or Yamuna shifts again and goes over there. And so many deities and temples went lost, and holy places, and nobody knew about them anymore. And Lord Chaitanya, he sent his devotees here to find out about these lost holy places 500 years ago. And the first ones who came here was Sanatana and Rupa Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami, actually the first one who found the deity was Advaita Acharya. Madan Gopal was the name, Madan Mohan. It was found by Advaita Acharya. He found it on Advaita Vat, it's still here the place, this Vata tree. Near Madan Mohan temple. There's this and Banka Bihari at the entrance of beginning of going there on the road. There's this place, Advaita Vat. It's a nice temple there now. This remnant of the tree is still there. And Advaita Acharya in a dream, cowherd boy appeared and asked him to relieve him from this, because he's buried here somewhere under the earth. Please come and take me out for worship. So Advaita Acharya found this beautiful deity, Madan Gopal. And then because he went to Shantipur, it was before Lord Chaitanya's appearance, he went back to Shantipur, but he could take the deity with him because the deity was quite big and made of stone deity. So he gave it to one Brahmana in Gokul, Mathura Brahmana. He's a Mathura Brahmana, Chobe, who was living in Gokula, Lord Krishna's birthplace and childhood place. He had his house there. And he gave that deity to him for worship. But because the deity became like a family deity, so they had many children, and the children start to play with Krishna, with the Krishna deity. They took him like a brother, and they had a relationship with Krishna like brother. We have a relation with Krishna, oh Lord, give me this, please give me that, please protect me. It's very boring for Krishna. It's not Krishna's job. But if Krishna likes a relationship, loving relationship, affection, like on same platform, as a brother, as a friend, as a lover, not master. Master is a heavy job. Even the Lord doesn't want to be master. Therefore he comes as Krishna, he develop so that he can develop a relationship with his different devotees on level of friendship and affection and brotherhood. So Krishna enjoys that very much. Krishna also doesn't like to be the father. He likes to prefer to be the son. In most of the world we worship God as the father, but God he thinks, I don't want to be the father. I'm anyway the father, but I like to be the son. Why? Because my devotee will take care for me. He will protect me. He will nourish me. He will arrange everything for me. So he enjoys that much more than to be the father himself, or the controller, Ishvara, or the enjoyer. He wants to be subordinate or equal platform to his devotee, so that they take care for him, that they will protect him, that they will nourish him, that they will feed him. So that Krishna is enjoying. Rasa graha is rasa graha. He accepts rasa. He's eager for enjoying rasa. That is actually the nourishment what Krishna likes. That's the relationship. And this sweetness of rasa you can only find in Vrindavan. Or in the process of bhakti, in the bhakti process, in the Vrindavan mood. And Lord Chaitanya came to spread this Vrindavan mood all over the world. Like everything that is distributed in the world and products is coming from America, mostly, right? So everything of love of Godhead is distributed by Lord Chaitanya coming from Mayapur, Navadip. Mayapur, Navadip is not different from Vrindavan, because Lord Krishna himself came as Gauranga Mahaprabhu with Nityananda, the original guru, his brother Balaram, and together they were mercifully, without taking offense, they distributed the prema. And therefore they wanted to re-establish this lost religion or dharma, Sanatana dharma, prema dharma of the soul to love Krishna. Jiva dharma, the jiva's dharma is to love Krishna. Jivera svaruphoi Krishna era nitya das. Nitya sita Krishna prem, shatya karanoi, shravanadi shuddha chitta koryodoi. So the jivas only can ultimately feel perfected if we are developing and awaken our love to Krishna, our affection to Krishna. And that's why Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda appeared, and with their associates. And they came here to Vrindavan to re-establish this bhakti cult here, because it was completely lost. And this deity appeared here, the first deity, Madan Mohan, who became again manifested, and who was in this house of this Brahmana in Gokul, Mahavan. So when Sanatana Goswami came there, he was a mendicant, Madhukari. So he goes from house to 5 houses. He goes for Madhukari to get from everyone something, some milk, some grains, some rice, some dal, and he's for his own maintenance. So he met Madan Gopal there, and the children were playing with him. So Sanatana Goswami became very much attracted to the beauty of this cowherd boy, Madan Gopal. Madana Gopal means the Gopal cowherd boy, who is very charming, like a Cupid, like an Amore, like the god of love. So he became himself very much attracted, and he desired that this deity could come to him. Somehow or other, by the Lord's arrangement, when he saw Sanatana Goswami, he revealed himself to the Brahmana family and told them, "You have already so many sons who are, to whom you can take care. I'm now was long enough now in care of you. No? Please give me to this mendicant as a gift. Please give it to him." So that's my wish. That's my desire. I would like to go with him. And so in this way, this Brahmana, he fulfilled the desire of the Lord, who spoke to him. The Lord doesn't speak to everyone. Only if somebody is very pure, and the Lord has a certain mission and a message, and we are open for it. So the Lord speaks to him and tells him, that's my desire. And then the devotee is doing it. Brahmana gave it. He consulted with his wife, and they gave Krishna, Madan Gopal, to this mendicant, Madhukari, Sanatana Goswami. And then Sanatana Goswami, because he had no home, he had no temple at that time, no place to stay, he was only traveling, sometimes living underneath a tree, sometimes in a cave. He accepted that deity, and he came here ultimately to Vrindavan, on the bank of the Yamuna. The Yamuna river was more near to Vrindavan at that time. And there is this hill, it's still there, this Tvadashadita Tila. On that hill, Sanatana Goswami built his Bhajan Kutir underneath a tree, and he kept the deity on the tree because he had no temple. So he kept it in a hole, because many trees are very big and they have some holes inside. It was like a cave, So he kept him there in that cave. And whatever he got, he offered. Only one rare thing one rare thing at that time was salt. 500 years ago, salt was not easy available. So one time Krishna asked Sanatana Goswami, "I'm very happy that you take care of me. Offer me this bread, round bread. It's called pati, made from wheat." So because Sanatana Goswami got some wheat from the householders, from the late pious ladies, because he's mendicant, so we give him wheat. So he made these round bread balls, put it in fire and made this bread, But he had no salt, and he offered daily this bread to the Lord. Then Krishna asked, "Can you please arrange me a little with salt also?" And Sanatana Goswami, "My dear Lord, that's all what I can get now, because I'm a mendicant. I'm living here in the jungle, not in the city. I'm not in Mathura or in Gokul, where there is city or village. I'm living here in the jungle, And I do my bhajan here, so I have not. Please be satisfied what I offer you with love and devotion." So then Krishna accepted like that. These balls you still get if you go to the temple. You get these bread balls, or in Sanatana Goswami's samadhi. So very tasty. Although still without salt. So, how I can got the topic. Your deity. Hey, Prabhu. The deity. Your question is answered?
Yes.
Satisfied?
Yes. I want to hear your viewpoint a little bit more sense.
Yeah, of course. If it is small, don't give them too big deities.
No, because they were playing around with them. I was
Oh
just
no.
thinking
Okay.
if it's
You
correct.
know, there was, tell you another story. Sit down. Take a minute. Tell you another story. We went to Jaipur. A few months ago. Few months ago we went to Jaipur, and we were there in one guest house, and we were taking prasadam there, and the server, in that,
Servant.
no, it's
Waiter.
waiter, man. You know, here in India they have man waiters, not women. Not women waiters. Men are the waiters. They come, serving you prasadam, and we come every year there, and he knows us. And he always greets, oh, Hare Krishna, oh, nice, you're here again from Vrindavan, so happy to see you. Then he asked me, you know, I have a daughter, you know, she's now 7 years old, and she loves Gopal. Please, could you arrange a Gopal Murti or deity for her? When we were in Jaipur, I thought maybe he expected that we bring next time one from Vrindavan, but I thought, oh, we can also find one here in Jaipur, because it's Jaipur. There's many temples of Gopinath and Radha Govinda. So we went to the city near Radha Govinda and Gopinath Mandir, and there we found deity Vala, Murti Vala. And we asked him, so you have a Gopal? So, yeah, I have many here, all sizes. And we choose the proper size, this size here, metal. And the waiter, when we brought him in the evening, you know, we gave it to him, or was it next morning? Next morning we gave it to him, so he was so happy. And then he brought it to his girl, and then he told us, oh, she is so happy about, she only thinks about Gopal now, she sleeps with Gopal, eats with Gopal, everything what she's doing with Gopal. She accepted him like her brother. So therefore many children, they have Gopal first. But maybe many like Radha Krishna, so it's also okay. But we devotees, if you are devotee and you are initiated and you know the procedure how to worship the deity and what is needed, then you should follow that standard, you know. Don't do it in ignorance. A child is in ignorance, but it has a feeling, you know. And Krishna is responding with that feeling, not just by the puja and the worship, by the tantra and yantra and puja process. How many circles we make, you know, he doesn't count, you know. But we have to follow it because it's Pancharatrika Vidhi. So we have to follow Vidhi. We cannot be Avidi Purvakam, like some who are demigod worshippers. They worship the demigods, but not with Avidi Purvakam, not Vidhi. Vidhi means proper rules and regulations. And they're Avidi, that they don't follow the proper rules and regulations and the proper motivations. And because I have seen many demigod worshippers, they worship a demigod made of clay. There's certain days they worship Durga Puja from clay. They make, there are so many dolls, so many murtis. Then they worship them for 10 days or like that, offering puja and flowers and boga. And what they're doing in the end, throw it in the river. And sometimes I went there in Chakanapuri, and also here in Vrindavan and other places on the Yamuna. You see, after these demigod worship days, hundreds of deities lying on the beach of the river, on the side. Even on the earth, they're not properly put even in the river. They just left it there. Because they thought, okay, the deity, we call the deity to fulfill our desire, and then we ask him to go again. And then the deity is not here anymore, so we throw him in the river, or her in the river. Thank you very much. See you next time again. So this is a kind of a deal, you know. So you ask the deity to come, to manifest, to fulfill your desire, and if your desires are fulfilled, or if your puja is over, you put him back you say adieu, bye-bye. And this is called idol worship. And this idol worship is in all the scriptures all over the world. It's condemned. Also in Christianity, in Islam, actually also in Hinduism. It is actually not a proper procedure. If you do the deity process, then you call the deity and you worship him forever. It's like inviting Krishna to your home, you know. You don't invite him, please come and fulfill my desires and accept my puja, and now you can go again after a certain time. And we can call you again when we need you next time. This is unsteady, this is materialistic. Therefore Krishna, he says, to his family members when they met in Kurukshetra. What is the verse? Bauma ichadi. He says, Bauma ichadi, that my father's land, or motherland, and our national religion and deities are worshipable. This is and to take the body as the self. Yasyatma buddhe kunabhe tridatuke yatit kalatra adishu pauma ichadi yatirtha buddhi salilena karichich janeshu abhigeshu saeva gokara. So this is gokara mentality, ass mentality. So Krishna warned his family member in Kurukshetra during solar eclipse, that don't have this mentality of the materialistic demigod worshippers of the Avidi Purvakam, and just come to a holy place to worship that holy place just to get some karma kandya benefit. You should do it in the proper way, you know, to respect the residents, the sages, the brahmanas, and follow the proper process of religion, of dharma. So in this way one can get the right result. Therefore also Krishna, he stopped Indra Yagya. He told to his father, Nanda Maharaj, you know, there's no need to worship Indra. Indra gives water everywhere. Also in places where it is not needed. So better you worship Govardhan Hill and the Brahmanas and the cows, because they're our maintainers. They're our well-wishers. They supply us everything what we need. So better we show thankfulness to them.
I was thinking more of the deities that's like pillows. They look more like
Yeah, I know.
that you gave up a child who was 5 years old.
Yeah, Yeah.
Gopal, that's okay. But I was thinking about the pillow.
Yeah, I have seen them also. Yeah, the child embraces and thinks, I have Krishna in the hand now. I embrace him and starts to makes a relationship with him. You know. So we can give him, I would say, how is it called? This lady puppet, Barbie puppet. You know, is it better? So better you give him a Krishna puppet, you know, or Radha Krishna puppet. Some other question? Yeah.
There was at the beginning when Prabhupada came to the West, there was also some kind of reading like Krishna Bus, either in San Francisco or in New York.
Yes, I have seen it. It's in LA now.
How does it appear to state this Krishna Bus?
I don't know. But it's Karta Mashai. Prabhupada called it the boss. I don't remember if they got it from a shop or brought it to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, he always kept it on his desk in Los Angeles. It's still there. And in Prabhupada Museum in Switzerland, we have a replica of it. You have seen it?
It disappeared now. Somehow.
Who took it?
I don't know. They say it's not there anymore.
Really? Yeah, of course, nobody takes proper care for that museum anymore. It's just an Abstellplatz. What to do? Temple needs life. How is London Temple doing? There's life, huh? Okay. You take nice care for Prabhupada's room there? No, but you take nicely care for Prabhupada's room there?
No, we don't have
Huh?
the big temple, yes. There's beautiful.
Yeah, Soho. That's very important, you know, to take care of because there are so many books of Prabhupada and Maha, like we have here, you know, so they take nicely care here. So it has to be protected. I carried it myself, you know, from America to Switzerland. And also this Prabhupada, that's still there. Huh? It's too heavy to take. It's made of heavy metal. This twisted Prabhupada fade. And everything else is locked. Yeah. Good, then we can stop, huh? No more question? Yeah, that's auspicious. Vrindavan needs rain. That's always nice. It means that demigods are pleased. Krishna is pleased. Good, Hare Krishna, Glorious Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai.